The following are the solutions to the previous school day's homework. Students will get 100 points if they show all work for all problems. Students will get extra points for any correct answers they obtain. All student work is photographed before they check their own paper. Number 1 is 1.6 or negative 7.6. You must have rounded to the tenths place in each case. 2 is negative 4.1 or 1.5. 3 is no solution. 4 is 1.4 or negative 1.1. 5 is 2.2 or negative 9.2. 6 is negative 2 or 1.3. 7 is no solution. 8 is no solution. 9 is no solution. 10 is negative 1 or 0.3. You have a test tomorrow over the quadratic formula. This test will be similar to the last test you took, where you had to complete the square, in that you have to fill in the missing pieces of a problem that I put on the page. It's not just a matter of getting 2 answers and then moving on to the next problem. The problem is 5x squared plus 12x minus 6 equals 0. I need to find A, B, and C before I can start the problem. So, Bruton, what is A, B, and C?
Can you take all of them or just one?
All of them.
A's 5, B's 12, C's negative 6.
That's right, 5, 12, and negative 6. Can somebody tell me what the quadratic formula is, Kaiser? What is the quadratic formula, Weeks? Square root?
Yes. B squared minus 4ac.
Over what?
2.
2a, that's right. That's it. That is the quadratic formula. And what must I do next, Clark? Yeah, we have to plug in. So that will be a 12, a negative 12, plus or minus the square root of 12 squared minus 4 times 5 over negative, or times negative 6, and then on the bottom 2 times 5. So when I start to simplify this, I have a negative 12 plus or minus the square root of what? What number comes up first? What do I write next, Carver? The next number that I write in simplifying, we'll give that one to times. 144 is right. What sign goes in the middle? What sign goes in the middle? That goes to Webb. Yeah, it'll be a plus sign. And can somebody tell me why I'm putting a plus sign in the middle? Kegley. And that goes to Glean. You have what? Yeah, you have 2 negative signs in here. This one's really a minus, but you can treat it as a negative. And then a negative. Double negative would give you plus. What number do I write next? That goes to, she's not here, Hellier. $120 is right. Okay, on the bottom, what do I write? That goes to Yantis. 10 is right. Okay, so we've made it this far. So So we have to go back in here and simplify just a little bit more. We have to do negative 12 plus or minus the square root of 144 plus 120, which gives me what, Stickler?
What am I doing?
144 plus 120.
290.
No. 144 plus 120, Hamilton. 264, right. So on the bottom, we have a 10. Okay, is 264 a perfect square, yes or no, Malone? No, it is not a perfect square. How can I figure out if something is a perfect square or not, Anderson? How do I figure out if something is a perfect square, Johnson? How do I figure out if something is a perfect square, Owens? All right. So we will put these sticks back in the can and start again. Yantis, how do I figure out if something is a perfect square? All right. Clark. You what? You would not square it. You go to Malone. Square rooted, yes. What is my next step on this problem, Johnson? Yes. It's not no solution. What's the next step, Imes? You have to make two different problems. He's right. You have to make two different problems. And the first problem is going to be what? Can somebody read the first problem off? Owens.
Negative 12 plus 264 divided by 10.
Negative 12 plus, I've put a minus in here by accident. Negative 12 plus square root of 264 over 10. All right, what is the other problem going to be? Anderson.
Negative 12 minus square root 264 divided by.
To finish this problem off, you're going to have to do a negative 12 plus the square root of 264, but hit enter first, and then divide by 10. So you will come up with 0.4. Or you could have negative 12 minus the square root of 264, hit equals, and then divide by 10. And you'll come up with negative 2.8, rounded to the tenths place. The problem is 3x squared minus 6x plus 2 equals 0. All right, so we're going to have a negative 6. Remember, the formula is negative b. This is b. So you have a negative 6, plus or minus the square root of the quantity squared of negative 6 minus 4 times 3 times 2. All of this is over 2 times 3. Simplify what you have. This is a double negative. So we'll have 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 24. All of that over 6. And of course, under the square root sign, you'll get a 12. You'll have to do two problems. One is 6 plus square root of 12 over 6, and the other one is 6 minus square root of 12 over 6. On the left-hand side, when you do that and round to the tenths place, you'll get 1.6. Or on the right side, you'll get 6 minus the square root of 12, and then divide by 6, 0.4.